So a couple of you asked for a tour of my garden, so I thought I would do this video. It's easier this way. This year was our first year of putting up this fence. We have rabbits really bad that eat everything that I do down to the nub, so we spent some money this year and decided to put a more permanent fence in. But Eric made this gate out of a pallet for me. He's so smart. And he made the sign for me for Mother's Day. But when you first come in, I have tomato plants. The last time I counted, I believe I had 54. I do a lot of canning, so I want to make salsa and tomatoes and spaghetti sauce and so on and so forth. So I will use every bit of these tomatoes. Notice that there's a black weed barrier down. We get crabgrass really bad. In fact, you can see that it'll still even grow through the fabric. So this is our way of kind of making it so it's not so dominant. And then there's the rest of my garden. Most of this has been here many years. We've added on a little bit every year. But I think I have it at the size that I want to now. But this is my squashes, zucchini and yellow squash. And then on this side we have beets. This is Brussels sprouts. And then cucumbers at the end. And there's this arch trellis that once they get big enough, they'll grow over that. And I'll probably do another video once everything is in its full glory. Peppers. Notice I have a couple. Down at the end, I believe, is poblano, and then these are all yellow and red bell peppers. My strawberry plants that I've already been able to get several yummy, yummy, delicious servings from. And this is an okra plant, and another okra plant there. Notice my asparagus kind of randomly come up, so we just kind of let them go and then we put them over into the right bed. These are jalapenos and more cucumbers. And that is my spaghetti squash, and this is 2 more zucchinis. I tried to separate them this year because we tend to get this white powdery mildew that once one gets it, they all do. So I put 2 or 3 over there and 2 here, so we could try to save some if they get it. These are all my broccoli plants. I grow them in containers just so I can manage the soil much better. But I did see some broccoli in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that. It's growing. And I did my potatoes in bags this year too. These are 50-gallon bags, and they have never looked so good as you see here. So I'm excited to see the yield that I'll get. Usually we plant them along the fence on my neighbor's, by my neighbor's line, and we don't get very many potatoes, and digging them up is not easy for what little yield we get. And then here is my asparagus, which it is about done. We've gotten quite a few meals out of that too. And this is also an asparagus bed. And then we have celery. So I have 4 there. This is my spinach, which is done. So I'm just letting it go to seed so I can collect seeds for next year. And this is my peas. They didn't do very well. This had a lot of what is called a walking Egyptian onion in, and I planted them in there with them, and the onions kind of just took over, so I think that's why my peas didn't do very good. We did get a serving off of these, but I'll probably use this bed to plant some more radishes and maybe some more cooler crop things, because this does get a little bit of shade. And my onions, as you notice, we do lots and lots of onions, so they're doing really well. And there are some garlic in here. There should be a couple I think I have about 10 garlics in here too. And then this is turnips on the outside edges. And then in the middle is my cabbages, which are starting to form heads, so I'm excited about that. And we got our carrots, which are doing really well. And then these are cauliflower, which I would show you the heads, but we tied them up yesterday. I guess if you tie them up, the heads don't turn colors. Well, you can kind of see here. There's one. They're gorgeous. And this is all my melons. I can't remember what is what, but I believe down on this end is my cantaloupes. And then I have some honeydew. And then at the end, I think is watermelon. So they're growing slowly. And then we have a grape. This is a Concord grape. I make jelly out of this every year. And we have some more potatoes. And in the tire is the walking Egyptian onions. Now these onions are really good for green onions, but once they get bigger, they're no good for anything else. But see how they make babies? So what happens is these will fall off and then they will make roots. But if you have them, they take over. If anybody wants some of these, I'll be happy to let you have them. But that whole bed was full of these, and I mean, it just took over. And we don't eat that many green onions before these go bad. So I just thought I'd keep a few. But they are very interesting little critters. And then there is a raspberry in here, as well as another grape. I've never gotten grapes off of this. This is the first year that it's actually done this well. So I don't even know what kind of grape it is. And I have my compost bin, but I did plant some potatoes in the middle one, which the middle bin is like just ready dirt. And then at the end we have, I have mushrooms. We've gotten a few mushrooms off of it, but not very many. Let's see, I also have over in that section where you see the black on the ground, those are green beans. This year I planted half runners, which are my favorite. And then on the other side of the playhouse, see if I can get close enough to see it. Yeah, you can't really see. There's corn. And it is about a foot tall. But I really do love my garden. This is my like therapy. I spend lots and lots of time in here. I don't know, I have the gardening bug. I think about gardening all year round, so in the wintertime I am experimenting. And for one thing, see, the pepper plants were overwintered, so I did not know that they were actually like perennials, so you could dig them up and keep them all winter long. They don't produce fruit in the winter. You cut them down to like basically a stalk, and then you just kind of keep them alive through the winter, give them a little bit of light and feed them weekly. And then when it comes time to plant them, they produce their fruit a lot faster because they're already an established plant. So this is the first time I've ever had peppers this time of year. Usually we get peppers so late, and frost kills them before they produce at their potential. But anyway, this is it. It's my pride and joy.